Hey guys, Kevpert here. Today I've got an advanced dribbling tutorial. I'll be showing you some drills to really elevate your dribbling game. All done free play, so it won't matter if you're on PC or console. So I'm really targeting players who can keep the ball on top of their car and can do some flicks. If you're newer to the game, then I'd recommend taking a look at my basic dribbling tutorial. Anyway, let's dive in. So we'll start off with a very basic drill. We're just going to get up to the ball and pop it on top. And we're just going to move this ball around, try to get it on all the different edges of the car, the back corners, the front corners, the sides. See if you speed it up, slow it down. Probably don't even need to use much boost here. If you can't do this, like I said earlier, go to my basic dribbling tutorial. That will help you build a control to get to this point. But this is just a warm up. Okay, drill 2, same thing, but we're going to mix in some pops. So just get the ball in the center of your car, pop it up with a single jump. Should be pretty easy to get back under the ball. And start chaining these together. Once you feel comfortable with that, we're going to increase the difficulty by trying to hit the ball when it's on its way down. The higher you hit it, and the more force that it imparts on your car when it's on its way down, the better. That's going to make it more difficult to recover from. Now, using that recoil effect, you can quickly recover using wave dashes. And that will help you keep even better control of the car. Then next level, you can even jump at the most inopportune times, make it as awkward as possible, as difficult as possible for yourself, and really test your control here. That's really the name of the game for all the drills that we're going to be doing. Making it as difficult as possible once you've mastered a previous level. Drill 3 is the same thing. We're just going to pop up this ball and we're going to mix in some power slides. So how you do that is you try to speed up this ball and then throw in that power slide at the very end and see if you can just control the ball as you're curving around the ball. Now, one thing to note here, most players don't know how to control the ball while holding power slide. It's usually just a quick power slide and then you're done with it. So what I'm doing here is holding power slide, turning one way and then canceling that movement by moving my stick in the opposite direction. So on every drift that I'm doing, look out for my canceling movement. So if I'm pulling the stick left here, you'll see that I'm bringing it back to the right. So one thing I like to do is just pop up the ball and see if you can catch it on the power slide turn. This is a really good way to increase the complexity of the drill and test your control on the catch. So here's another example where I'm drifting right, holding power slide, and then I bring the stick left, and that helps me exit the power slide. Okay, so then we can start mixing in what we were doing in drill 2, which is some of these pops and wave dashes. Now you're mixing in the power slide. Now that you have these 3 tools, try to improvise. When you're improvising, you're going to create a lot of unique situations, and this will really test the control of your car and of the ball here. You can even try doing some 360 power slides. I just messed up on that one. That's part of improvising. Drill 4 is weaving around boost pads. Now this is one of my favorite drills. I'm turning the eye tracker on for this one because I want you guys to see what I'm looking at. These boost pads on the field, we're going to treat them like cones that we can weave around. So I'll look at a gate between 2 cones and then try to go through them. I'm going to go through this gate here, I'll look at it, and then dribble the ball through that gate. What I wanted to happen, happened. For you guys starting out, that's not going to happen most of the time. That's totally normal. Over time, you're trying to get to what you want to happen to line up with what you actually execute. If you're observant, you'll notice that what you want to happen starts happening more and more often. That's how you know you're improving. Alright, drill 5. We're going to be weaving through the cones again, but we're going to be mixing in power slides. So just get your eyes on a couple gates here. Here's a gate on my left, and just power slide, see if you can execute. Drill 6 is the same weaving drill, but just add in some pops, some double jumps on top of your power sliding. It's just a simple progression of the weaving drill, making it slightly more difficult. Drill 7 is the weaving drill on hard mode. We're adding in everything: power slides, pops, wave dashes, flicks, half flips, 180s, 360 spins, tornado spins into wave dashes, using that double jump, anything you can think of. In this drill, I'm pushing the absolute limits of my dribbling control. I'm barely keeping it up at times. Sometimes the gates are a complete afterthought. I have something in mind, and my touch goes in a completely different direction. My control is noticeably degrading as the weaving drill is getting way more complex. Now, if you're focused and you're in the moment while you're training, you're gonna get certain intuitions about what's difficult. It might not be a full-on blackout moment where you lose total control of the ball. It can be much more subtle than that, like just a passing feeling of, oh, my touch was off, or I wanted to hit it this way, but that happened instead. That's what I'm experiencing. You've probably felt that in your training or in-game. If you're like me in the past, you just ignore those feelings. It took me years to figure out that those intuitions are extremely important for your growth. That's your experience talking to you. And if you can learn to listen to that, then you have the capacity to improve. Because now you can act on it. Amazing mechanics aren't a gift or a special talent. They're a symptom of a learning mindset. So you can be a mechanical player as well, because it's not about having all the mechanics, it's just a mindset. Over time, provided you put in the hours, you'll get the mechanical growth you want. So, let me give you an example in your own terms. If you're doing the weaving drill, but you're noticing that you can't cut around the paths to go through the gates. Because you're paying attention, you get this feeling that your power sliding is a little off, that it's a little inconsistent, you're losing control of the ball. Maybe you watch some pros or freestylers, and you see what great power sliding control looks like. Then you enact a training plan and try different drills. Maybe even make a simple custom training pack to get you more reps, as that might be faster than constantly setting it up in free play. Some drills seem to challenge your power sliding more, so you focus on those drills and scrap the others. As you improve, you listen and see what you can tweak to make yourself even better. Then you practice that. Anyone can do this. It does take a lot of mental effort, just like when you first learn to keep the ball on top of your car. It might be a little frustrating, not super fun at first, but when you improve, you can improvise, create things on the fly. For me, it's always been, the better you get, the more fun you can have. This mindset is also a very personal thing. What might work for you may not work for others. You'll still get great results doing these drills and just copying me, but what I'm speaking about here is way more important for your overall growth. Get better at observing, then find out how to create the best training for yourself. I started this channel because I had the simple belief that I could do it too. I could have car control like the pros if I figured out smarter ways to practice. So there's nothing stopping you now. You can do it too. Get better at dribbling. I'll put some links in the description to a couple books that really help me understand this mindset. Okay, so let's move on to the next drill. We're just going to do some bounce dribbling and weave through the cones. This is a really important skill in ones because you can generate a lot of power by striking on the bounce or on the volley. If you get a high quality bounce, think about the varied array of attacking moves you can do. A bad touch, say one that kills the ball, and all you can do is push it, shrinks all of your options. So for the flat car mains out there, this is how you leverage the advantages of your car. Because you can get huge hits and huge pops, you pin the opponent back in net, and you set yourself up to strike, fake, pop, tail flick, launch into air dribbles, and so on. But with a shorter hitbox, connecting well is a lot tougher and takes practice. You can mix in power slide to a high degree of control as well, like I'm doing here. This next clip isn't a drill, it's just me showing you some tricks of the trade of dribbling. The first one is getting on the wall before the ball and preventing the ball from rolling up or bouncing out. This is a really quick way of keeping a dribble live which means you attack the opponent immediately. There is no release of pressure because you're attacking right away, so you prevent the opponent from getting boost and taking their sweet time getting set for defense. This next trick is the glancing touch. You can dodge and just glance the side of the ball, and then you can attack off of that or get boost. You can use this technique to move the ball around the field, especially when someone's chasing you and trying to demo. It keeps the dribble alive, and you can even dodge the boost. Next is this single jump touch, where you just cushion the ball with the roof of your car with a little air roll, like right here. It can help you set up balanced dribbles without having to wait for the ball to drop to the ground, letting you attack a little quicker. The last trick I'd recommend you try is using your double jump to jump down. This lets you fake wall hits and helps you get set up for a quick dribble. The wall hit or the aerial threat pushes opponents back because they think you can boom the ball and you can exploit that space to get a quick dribble started. I'm kind of messing around with it here, but try using it on the dribble. Sometimes you can turn it into turtle flicks or quick recovery into a flip. This next drill is going to be really tough. It's eye trading. So I'm going to take my eye off the ball and scan for open areas of the field. You'll see my dribble quality degrade, but it's a necessary skill to develop. When you play at the higher levels, opponents will fake challenge all the time, or they might try to surprise you with a quick turn and challenge. The only way you can really outplay them is if you can get your eyes on them. Otherwise, you're just taking educated guesses on what they might do. You need to be able to read them, cross them over, exploit their weaknesses. And you can't do that without eyes on the opponent. So a few little tips here. You can do some pop dribbling so you can see underneath the ball and therefore the opponent. You can switch from free cam and ball cam so you can see around the ball. Same thing goes for bounce dribbling. You can create an angle to watch the opponent, watch where the space is in the goal, and strike. Okay, so the final drill is just working on finishing moves. At times working on consistency and placement, and other times pushing your limits and improvising, putting together all the different moves you have and seeing what you can come up with. I'm going to let this video play out with my good friend's improvisational drum solo playing in the background. Sometimes when I train, I like to listen to some of the best guitarists or improvisationally skilled musicians out there, just as an inspiration. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you have a super day and really make strides in developing your dribbling game.